Hello guys, I'm Vikrant from Astroneer and let's kick into Astro Almanac of the month July 2021. But before we start, let me give you a small introduction to what exactly Astro Almanac of the month is. So basically, Astro Almanac is your personal guide to the beautiful night sky up above us. And here I am to guide you and help you spot some interesting activities happening in the universe above us. So let's start with July 2021 as it comes with some interesting activities. Earth at aphelion, then Mercury at its greatest elongation, Moon, Venus, and Mars conjunction, Jupiter at opposition, asteroid 6 Hebe at opposition, Saturn at opposition, full moon, peak of southern aquarate, and Capricornid meteor showers. You can't actually see the first astronomical event in the July night sky because it's happening to the Earth. Yes, you heard me right. On 5th of July, the Earth will be at aphelion, our farthest point from the Sun during annual orbit. On this day, we'll be at 1.02 astronomical units from the Sun. Don't worry though, we can't see or feel the difference. Up next, on 8th of July, is Mercury at its greatest elongation. When Mercury reaches its greatest elongation, it's located west of Sun and shining at a magnitude of 0.3. Mercury's orbit is closer to Sun than that of Earth, which means that it always appears close to the Sun and is faded because of the Sun's brightness most of the time. You can only observe it for a few days each time when it reaches its greatest separation from the Sun or the greatest elongation. This phenomenon repeats itself approximately every 3 to 4 months and occurs alternately during morning or afternoon, depending on whether the Mercury is to the east or to the west of the Sun. When it's located to the west of the Sun, it rises and sets just before the Sun and it is visible before the sunrise. The best time to photograph Mercury is shortly before sunrise. On 13th of July, Moon, Venus and Mars conjunction will take place. Overnight, on 12th of July, the Moon will make a close approach with both Venus and Mars, as these two neighboring planets are in the same part of the sky. However, it will be easy to spot these three celestial bodies in the evening as both Mars and Venus are bright in the sky just after sunset, and the Moon will be a mystical silver of crescent and just 8% illuminated. For some interesting activities and courses, do check out our Instagram at @Astronera. Next up, on 14th of July, Jupiter will be at opposition. The best time to observe and photograph Jupiter will be around 14 July, when the biggest planet in the solar system reaches opposition with the Sun. This means that the planet is on the opposite side of the Earth as the Sun. For distant planets like Jupiter, Earth is a bit closer to the planet during the opposition than other times of the year. But most importantly, Jupiter will be bright in the night sky virtually all night around the time of the opposition. Reaching its highest point in the night sky around midnight local time, you will be able to see Jupiter with naked eye, appearing as a white unblinked star object. Please note, planets do not twinkle like stars because their light comes from a small disk rather than single point, so planet's light is not strongly influenced by atmospheric effects. But with a pair of binoculars or a backyard telescope, you can spot the four largest moons of Jupiter and perhaps the atmospheric bands of color on the planet. Next up, on 18th July, asteroid 6 Hebe will be at opposition on 18th July. This is a large main belt asteroid that astronomers believe is a very solid, dense object containing 0.5% mass of asteroid belt. Unlike other similarly sized asteroids, it hasn't been impacted by many other objects over the eons. It will be at its highest around midnight local time, no matter your viewing location on the Earth. Want to learn more about asteroids? Here is Astronera and Astrofanatics presenting Astrometry Training Workshop. Followed by Jupiter, on 20th of July, the Saturn will be at opposition. Less than a week after Jupiter hits opposition, Saturn will take its turn on opposite side of the Earth from the Sun. Appearing as a yellow-white dot of light, the planet will be bright in the night sky for entire night, providing plenty of opportunities to observe Saturn in the dark skies, which will be even darker thanks to the new moon occurring on the night of 20th July. You can't see Saturn's ring with binoculars, but you don't need a very large telescope, and opposition this year provides a fantastic opportunity to resolve the rings around the giant gas planet. On 24th July, the full moon will take place. This full moon in July is also known as buck moon because the antellias of male deer, which are called as bucks, are in full growth mode at the same time. Bucks shed and regrow their antellias each year, producing a larger and more impressive sets as the year goes by. The last interesting activity happening in the night sky will be around 30th of July, when it will be the peak of southern aquarids and Capricornid meteor showers. But unfortunately, they'll clearly be visible in the southern hemisphere rather than northern hemisphere. You can check out our website astronera.org for some interesting courses. Link is in the description box below. To check out astronaira.org for some interesting courses happening this month, starting with the International Astrotainment Youth Program, in which you can work with industry mentors and chance to research on topics like build a civilization on Mars or Moon, finding explosion year of supernova, editing Hubble Space Telescope images. So that's it for Astro Almanac of the month July 2021. I will see you with the next month's Astro Almanac. Until then, clear skies.